Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and we're going to talk about Spider-Man Across the SpiderVerse, robustly, you've been warned. All right, what I want to talk about today, I want to try something new today. I want to talk about tropes, and I want to get your take on tropes and how to process tropes. And I'm gonna set up this. I'm gonna set up the subject. I'm gonna give you my opinion, and then I'm gonna ask you your opinion, and then in the comments I'm gonna tell you exactly how to just put the right text for me to count, for me specifically to count your responses, right? And I'm gonna give it 3 days, and then I'm gonna give a report on the outcome of the conversation. All right, so let's get into this. All right, so what am I talking about here? So first of all, why do we even need to do this? What is the point, right? Well, let's talk that through. So you and I are dungeon masters, and Gary Gygax, in my humble opinion, Dungeons and Dragons is not a game; it's a human flourishment engine, and there is a tree. A mighty, powerful tree. It's the most important tree in America. It is the tree that sprouts from Gary Gygax's grave. And that tree is Gary's legacy, right? And unlike any other author, any other creator, any other storyteller in the world, you and I have responsibilities that no one else has, right? Hollywood writers, they can serve up whatever pablum they want, right? Their only master is the U.S. dollar isn't even their master, right? We are constantly served up stories that are repugnant to the viewers, right? Now, why is that? Well, the vast majority of Hollywood writers, and I truly find their current strike absolutely galling. Like, after decades of vitriol between, I think, American viewers and American Hollywood writers, it's pretty galling that they're asking us to side with them on this side, because it's bad. So here's the issue, right? So basically, Hollywood writers, there's a huge problem. There is a huge problem. Listen to the Hollywood writers. One of the Hollywood writers recently said, he's literally started talking about, hey, I want to explain to you why we need this. Why we need more pay, and I understand that you think this is a tickle fight at the opera. Literally, the writings are saying, we know that you're thinking, why on earth should any Hollywood writer get another dollar, right? They already know the problem. They know they've lost the audience, right? And the reason why is the vast majority of them are highly educated and come from Ivies or highly prestigious colleges with 1 or 2 degrees. And actually, I think most of them have probably 2 degrees, right? And so you have these, coastal elites coming out of Ivies or highly prestigious universities, right? And they have an absolute detestment for the people who receive their stories. They revile them. They have a revilement, right? They feel that the unwashed masses read their stories, right? We don't get this. We simply do not get this privilege, right? Our viewers are sitting 3 feet away, right? They're sitting across a table, right? And the wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You're disgusting. You're scum. You're stupid. You're you don't know how to read. You don't all the things that we're constantly told, with outrageously, ridiculously pablum stories, just that insult the intelligence, don't fix continuity, just outrageous, revile insults coming from Hollywood, just saying, we're smart, you're stupid, we're red, you're unread. We could serve up whatever pablum we want to you, and we can insult you in the work. Go watch Space Jam. It's Space Jam is a movie where the Hollywood writers is let's insult the people who came out. If you went to the movies and you watched that thing, you went to the movies, you brought your whole family to watch Space Jam, and they go, everybody who went to see this movie is an idiot. Right in the movie, right? And it's absolutely constant, right? And we have to fix this. So this is one of the reasons why I'm trying to build this new structure for us to do better and write better, right? And then be willing to shift it in IRL, in real time, in at the Dungeons and Dragons table. We have a responsibility to give love, kindness, respect, tolerance to everybody who sits at our table, and we don't even have the privilege of having the remove between the. And I think that's another reason why the Hollywood writers do this, is they don't see the people who are receiving their story, right? They don't see the frowns, and they don't care, right? But you and I, we can't get away with this, right? The people we're serving stories up to are literally 3 feet away, right? We have to look them in the eye if we're going to insult them, right? And you know what happens then? You don't insult them. You show them respect. You show them kindness. You show them love. You show them tolerance, right? You do the right thing, and you just treat people like people, right? And so the first thing we're going to do to get there is tropes. Let's talk about tropes, right? So Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, first of all, these are Hollywood writers, okay? This is not a terrible movie, though. I think there was a lot of thought put into this, but that doesn't mean there weren't insults in it. And there were some things that I think were highly trope, that I think there was some powerful, incredibly lazy tropes in this film. And I want to ask you if you think I'm right, if this is a trope. And then I want to ask, okay, if this is a trope, right, what do we do now? Do we, if we're dealing with this trope, do we abandon it or do we subvert it? So 2 layers of questions. Is this a trope? Okay. Then, next layer of question, is this a trope? And then if it is a trope, do we abandon it or do we subvert it? Okay. All right. So let's talk about the trope. All right. So I watched Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and I love the movie. 5 out of 5 star movie, but it has a powerful, very repugnant trope in it, in my humble opinion. Okay. And what is that? It is Gwen Stacy, right, goes to Miles Morales, and in order to do this, she makes her father very upset, and she makes Spider-Man 2999 upset, and she even makes her Spider-Woman nemesis upset. She breaks every possible rule to go and talk to Miles Morales, right? Now, I'm there for the story and I'm coming along, but what was on the page and what was on the page at first, and then got to the point where it reached the screen, was absolutely insulting, right? So they're like, okay, Gwen Stacy has broken every rule. She's gone against the wishes of her father. She's gone against the wishes of Spider-Man 2099, who is the ultimate multiverse protector, and she's gone against the wishes of her Spider-Woman mentor, right? Gone against broken every single rule to get to Miles Morales. Why? She's in love with him, right? She's in love with him. She wants to go there. They have a single kiss, or they hug, and or they go out on a date, or whatever it is, right? Totally makes sense, right? You break every rule to be with the person you love, right? Totally makes sense, right? Oh, no, that's not the case in the movie. She has no interest in him, right? Like, makes it very clear. He's like, oh, hey, you're here, I'm here. We're sitting on this romantic balcony. Hey, I'm going to scooch closer. Oh, hey, buddy. I'm Gwen Stacy. You're Miles Morales. Slow your roll. I have absolutely zero romantic interest in you. Right? Why? Because he's hideously ugly? No. He's, he is conventionally attractive. Because he doesn't bathe? No. No one else in the, there's literally no reason why Gwen Stacy would, not be interested in Miles Morales from a technical perspective, right? Like, it's just, there's nothing there. Like, it is insulting how deep this trope is, right? And then, so she, she's not in love with him, right? And he's not even in danger, right? So they're saying that she went there for what? Are they even friends? Right? And here's the other thing is, she knows he's romantically interested in her. She sees the sketchbook, right? So it's not for love. It's not because he's in danger. We're supposed to believe that all of this was for friendship. It doesn't ring true, right? Like, and the other thing is, we've seen their relationship, right? There's no, Miles Morales has not done anything extensive to be a great friend to her. They've had very limited time, right? So now let me, okay, so, attractive female, attractive male, they're in the story, there's clearly chemistry, from one side to the other, and now, actually from the male to the female, right? And now it's time for, and gender is absolutely part of this, right? And I knew, right? I was like, here's the other one. I'm like, okay, Hollywood, why are you wasting my time with this? I know they can't be together. You know why I know they can't be together? Because no main character can ever be with a guy now in any of today's stories, because they need to be a strong, independent woman. I just watched the sequel to Doogie Howser. It's called Kamaleha MD. I probably massacred that name. Two entire seasons, right? It's season 2. There's spoilers for season 2 of the sequel to Doogie Howser. It's a young female doctor, Kamaleha MD, right? So I'm about to give a spoiler for the second season, right? There's a guy who has cancer, she's in love with him. There's a guy who's a surfer, she's in love with him. In the end, picks neither, right? Last Star Wars trilogy, right? Finn finds a woman who's complete match in every possible way. We can't be together, right? Poe Dameron finds a woman who's a complete match in every single way. We can't be together, right? It's just story after story after story after story, and they dance around the whole thing, and they show you every possible way that the guy really likes the girl. He's doing a million things. Poe, Finn and Rey can't be together, right? Nope, can't be together, right? And it's non-stop, right? And in my opinion, it's a terrible, horrible trope, and it is a waste of time, because you keep setting up these romantic situations, and we know there's absolutely no possibility that any female that's interested in males at the macro level, right, will ever fall for a male, because she needs to be a strong, independent woman, and all strong, independent women today have no romantic relationships. And I listed out 3. I could list 10, right? I could list 30. I think you could list 50. It's absolutely non-stop, right? And it's a powerful, powerful, powerful set in cement trope. Okay, all right. Now, here's my request. Okay, now here's what I'm saying. As dungeon masters, we have to identify this as a trope. I'm telling you, you should agree with me, this is a powerful trope, okay? And by the way, I'm assuming that you understand that we can't put tropes in our games. We have to abandon them, or we have to subvert them, right? Or we have to transform them. Oh yeah, that's good. Abandon, subvert, or transform, right? Okay, so first of all, so here's my question to you. Is this a trope? And then what I would ask in your answer is just put yes or no. Actually, you don't have to put yes. Just say, if you say abandon, subvert, or transform, I know your answer is yes. Okay? If you do not put that as your first word, I'm going to assume your answer is no. Okay? And then after abandon, subvert, or transform, you can put any other information you would like, and I'm going to try to aggregate that data, right? So in the comments below, if you would, please put abandon as the first word of your comment, abandon, subvert, transform, okay? That's a vote for yes, this is absolutely a trope, and this is what should be done for it. Anything else that doesn't start with those, I want to count as a no. Just want you to know that, okay? And then also, after your answer, right, you can put anything else you want after that initial word, right? And if you want to just say no, and then put anything you want after that, and I'm going to try to aggregate that data as well. So my take, this is absolutely a trope. This is a powerful trope, right? I'm not going to tell you if I think we should abandon it, subvert it, or transform until I've heard back from you guys, right? So I appreciate your patience. I really want to stress to you, you are not a regular human being, right? You are a dungeon master. You do not get the liberty of insulting everyone you create art for. Only Hollywood writers get that liberty right now, right? And as dungeon masters, we have a duty. We are called from Gary's grave to not insult the people we create art for. It's very important that we honor Gary and do the right thing. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I hear your humble opinion, which will begin with abandon, subvert, or transform, or the word no, in the comments below. Please consider liking, subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.